Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for the collective. Collective, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, you can find that information in my Buy Me a Coffee link, my official Instagram and TikTok, all listed in the About section of my YouTube page. And I thank you so much in advance. Collective, I hope that you're doing well. This reading is all about what your shadow side wants to say. What your shadow side wants to say. I'm going to be using two decks for this reading today. For the overall energy, it's going to be from the Pulp Tarot. And for the main spread, I'm going to be using an oracle deck, the Deep, Dark, and Dangerous Oracle. So the cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for the collective and what their shadow side would like to say. Okay. The Eight of Wands. Wands is part of the fire suit, the fire element, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It can talk about fast action and fast communication. It's almost, they look like cigarettes to me. It's almost as if, well, some of you might be dealing with smoking or some kind of addiction issue that you could be, it could be a challenge for you right now. And you are trying to work your way through and overcome. Could be difficult though, because it's almost as if it's coming at you from all sides. That's what Spirit just said. It's like your shadow is bringing up this, because usually the Eight of Wands is something progressive. But because it's coming from your shadow side, it's like this is the thing that they want to talk about the most, your shadow aspects. It's like I'm bombarding you. There's something happening in your world right now where it's like it's coming at me from all sides. Could be your responsibilities, could be your addictions, could be things that are plaguing you in terms of all the decision making you have to do. It's almost like you have a lot of choices that you have to make and a lot of actions you have to take. And it's like everything is coming at you at the same time. And it's overwhelming. You could feel kind of small in comparison to what is going on. Much of this is external to you. So it's not like if it was a swords card, like if it was the Eight of Swords, that could talk about like too many thoughts and we're stuck inside of our own brains and we have anxiety about it. And it's kind of like, it's like you want to take decisive action, but it's just like there are too many things. And so you aren't able to prioritize in the way that you would like. And maybe it's causing a little bit of procrastination, right? Because if it's coming from your shadow side, it's almost like I see it as like, not the exact opposite of fast action, but the kind of antithesis, which would be procrastination, which would be this inability to make decisions or move. Because you become almost paralyzed by everything on your plate. If it does have to do with some addiction sentiment or issues, I feel as though things seem very hazy for you right now. This deck in particular, it's kind of like a throwback deck to all the pulp classics and pulp book covers. So it has a certain color palette to it that feels very hazy. And so interesting, because right before I began this reading, because I've done a couple of readings already today, I always burn Palo Santo, right? Just to clear the energy, because I'm doing a new reading. And I started to burn the Palo Santo, but I don't know if it's going to do it for me now, but the smoke was really intense. and I was watching it kind of waft and like kind of envelop the whole screen right before I pressed record. And Spirit is showing that to me. That there's like a weird hazy glow to the card, and thus to your thoughts. Like it could be difficult for you to overcome a certain addiction right now. I mean, if it was easy, it wouldn't be an addiction, right? So let's get some cards on the table. So the first pile will be what you've been avoiding. Second pile will be what you need to do to conquer. And the third pile will be advice from Spirit. Interesting. Okay. 3 cards out on the table. Yeah, okay. So, first card, number 30, which reduces to a 3, the Empress card of the Major Arcana. That's Taurus and Libra energy. Taurus, Libra, you showed up in this reading. Interesting. Myrmidon, word above it is discipline. What you've been avoiding, discipline. Right. Now this is not supposed to be a reading. It's just be like, you should be whatever. It's not about that. It's about, you know, wanting to figure out what's going on so that we can make different choices, different decisions that better our lives, right? That's the whole reason why I do these readings, so that Spirit can provide some kind of guidance that resonates with you in a positive way. Okay, so it's not a coincidence that the discipline card came out, you know, and they're all staring at you. It's like aspects of your shadow staring at you, staring at each other. Thank you, Spirit. It's kind of, well, this reminds me of the Colosseum, right? Battling away. Spirit is now showing me the 5 of Wands, battling away with ourselves. All of our responsibilities, our priorities, not being able to hunker down. I just noticed here, look at his hands. His hands are kind of up like this. When I think of hands in the air, it's like this. It's like, what do you want me to do? What am I supposed to do? Like this. The Spirit's giving me that image. Like I just throw my hands in the air because I just don't know what else. I don't know what my options are. There's no recourse for me. Right? And yet at the same time, these dudes seem kind of disciplined. It's like they seem like soldiers that have a certain kind of rank. They're all kind of aspects of the same person, but you know what I mean. It's like this sense of like, you've had enough discipline in your life to be able to accomplish all the things that you have thus far in your life. And people sometimes forget that. It's like, you do have powers of manifestation, even if you don't think you do. Because that's how we got anywhere in life, which was putting our head to do something, and then we did it. Right? But there's something in you that could be manifesting or attracting something that is not ideal. Because I smiled when I saw that it was a 30 reducing to a 3 with the Empress card, because the Empress is one of the most powerful players in the Major Arcana. She's the ultimate divine feminine. She is the master attractor, the power of all 4 queens of the tarot. She's the master attractor, but it works both ways. You can attract the good things and you can attract the things that are not so good. So I'm going to ask for a clarifier from the tarot about the discipline. Why haven't we been disciplined? What is the reason? Whoa. Okay. Page of Swords in the reverse. Kind of spun around on the table, but landed in the reverse. Page of Swords in the upright. This is a little bit of spying energy. It can be a little bit of spying, but it also talks about curiosity. Well, it talks about curiosity first and foremost. The sword suit is all about the cerebral, like all of our thoughts and all of our analysis, strategy. But the Page of Swords is curious about gaining more information, learning. So when the card is in reverse, it's almost like the reason why the discipline perhaps is lacking at this moment is because there is this I want to use a very specific word, so just give me a second. Even though Spirit's not giving it to me right now, but I know there's like a specific word that I want to use. It's as if Spirit is really not giving it to me, but I know that it exists. It's going to bother me. You have no desire. Why isn't Spirit giving me the word? I mean, maybe that's part of it too. Maybe you've been distracted. Maybe there's some distractions. It could have to do with that haziness. Maybe if you are, and this is not a judgment. This is your shadow. This is your shadow speaking, right? Maybe you are doing something, you're taking some kind of substances, right? And it causes you to have an inability to focus or concentrate. So this is kind of a lack of focus and the lack of desire to focus. That's why the discipline is not here. It's like, it's almost as if there's a part of your shadow side that doesn't want to learn how to get out from under this. I mean, we've all been there. I've definitely been there, for sure. For sure, I've been there. And for me, it comes out as procrastination. It's like, I know I need to do something, but I'm just like, tomorrow. And then it never gets done, and it's 3 years later. And I still haven't renegotiated my cable bill. Right? This is one of those things, right? Like, I can make decisions every which way from Sunday at work. Decisive. Get it done. I can delegate like crazy. But like, I've been meaning to like renegotiate my cable bill for at least 2 years. I just don't. Right? So I think my sister is getting fed up with my shenanigans. She has nothing to do with my cable bill, but the idea that I was paying what I was paying was horrifying to her, so I think she might take it over. And that would be great. So anyway, there's this lack of focus, right? Here I got distracted again. The Spirit wants me to use the word ineffectual. Whatever you've been working on so far, or you've been trying to employ, has not worked out. And so it's kind of like this suggestion that if you started to ask more questions, started to learn more information about the obstacle in front of you, it's like you would empower yourself, right? The sword would be in the upright. The knowledge would be flowing. What is it that you need to conquer? Number 25, which reduces to a 7, the Chariot card in the Major Arcana, that's Cancer energy. Cancer, you showed up in this reading. Anubis, and the card says respect. Respect. Spirit just said self-respect. It's not easy. Good for you for coming to this reading, Because the shadow's not going to have like super nice things to say. It's not. That's why it's our shadow. So good for you for coming to this reading, because you're wanting to learn more about yourself and how you work. And I respect that. But there could be this sense of you disrespecting yourself. Now, that could look like all sorts of different things. It could look like addiction. It could look like avoidance. That's a big one. It could look like entertaining a person that does not deserve your energy, right? It's like energy vampire coming at you, and you not being able to have the conversation, like me and my cable company, you not being able to have the conversation with that person to say, hey, you're gross, you suck, and I feel disrespected. Instead of saying that to them, you're just like grinning and bearing it. And so the issue of self-respect comes into play. It's bringing up this, I've paraphrased this several times. Brené Brown, who I think paraphrased it from somebody else, she said that when you don't speak your authentic truth, you start a war within. And I'm going to go further to say that when you don't speak your authentic truth, when your throat chakra is closed, you make yourself sick. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen where somebody did not say what was on their mind when they had every right to say it. We're not talking about just rudeness or anything, like an injustice, an affront to their respect. They didn't speak up, they didn't say anything, and it physically made them ill. The body keeps the score, right? Very important. And a clarifier, please, for Anubis. The Chariot card, all about mastery over the light and shadow. And the next step, what you need to conquer, is the mastery over this shadow, right? Which seems like it goes without saying, but in order to do that, you also have to acknowledge the light. Where are you light? Where are you joy? Where are you happiness? Where are you compassion and love and grace? Where are those parts of you? Do you acknowledge that those parts exist? Two cards came out. Temperance, number 14 of the Major Arcana. This is Sagittarius energy. Sorry, I feel like a sneeze coming on. Temperance talks about patience. It also talks about alchemization, turning pain into power, for example. The Archangel here blessing it. And the Two of Cups in the reverse. Two of Cups in the reverse. This is a connection between equals, divine partnership. But for you, collective, it talks about the connection, or rather the disconnection between you and your higher aspect, you and your soul, you and your higher self, which is, you know, it's the concept of it, right? Like your soul is still your soul, right? But it's more like alignment. Like, are we listening to ourselves in order to take inspired action, in order to be inspired at all? Are we listening to our instincts and our intuition that is purely fueled by your soul? Every time you go against that, right, just like the closed throat chakra, Every time you go against what it is that you feel is the right thing, that's when we get ourselves in trouble. Advice from Spirit, number 41, reduces to a 5, the Hierophant card of the Major Arcana. Taurus, you showed up in this reading. Aosis C, disconnection. This is advice from Spirit. One, it's kind of like, are you going to take up the crown? There is a sense of defensiveness here. She's got a chainmail, that's what it's called, chainmail, a chainmail garment on to protect herself. But the sword is pointed down, right? So it's kind of like putting on this barrier between you and the thing that might be siphoning your good energy, your health, your emotional well-being. This disconnection is like, because I kind of see this as like cutting the cord to family lineage trauma, cutting the cord to friends or counterparts that do not deserve us. Going back to that respect energy. It's strange, like her eye makeup, I don't know if you can see, it's like her mascara is like running. Like she's been crying. She's been crying, but she looks extremely stoic. So it's like fighting through that vulnerability and still rising up, still standing tall. The Hierophant card talks about these, can talk about a connection to spirit through earthly means, but it can also talk about codes of conduct. The Spirit's giving me that, codes of conduct. How are we conducting ourselves? And by what rules, standards do we set in order to act? Like when we walk out our front door every day, what rules are we following? Even if they're just personal rules, codes of conduct, how we interact with the world and with others. This is your advice, though. The Spirit is saying that you're remaining strong, to continue to remain strong, but to cut ties with things that do not serve your best and highest good. Related to the sense of overwhelm or addiction or disrespect. Yeah, see? Wow. Number 1 of the Major Arcana, the Magician. Damn. This is Virgo and Gemini energy. Virgo, Gemini, you showed up in this reading. The Magician. Wow. Okay. The power of all 4 suits of the tarot. The Master Manifester. This is what Spirit is saying that you are capable of. And thus far, right? It's like what I was saying before. We can attract things to us that aren't for our best and highest good if we believe in them that strongly. If it's a negative thought or a negative outlook that you have about yourself, or this sense of cynicism that you just think that the world is crap. I mean, sometimes it is crap. If you just think that it's crap and then it's just nothing's worth it, you're going to continue to create that world for yourself. Conversely, Spirit is showing me that you have the power to create change. And that is precisely what is needed right now, using all the resources at your disposal. The first one you have is the thoughts. You have the ideas. Now it's about connecting through the heart space with the cups gathering the resources with the pentacles and executing those ideas and thoughts with the wands. Making magic of your world. Creating a new reality for yourself. You are fully capable of doing it. This card doesn't just pop out for anybody. It's because the power has been within you the whole time. That's your reading, collective. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you.